What's going on, guys? And today we are finally updating our tactics. Last time we did a tactics video was like 2 or 3 months ago, kind of like early on into the game. But now that we finally played, honestly, too many games this year. But now that we played a ton of games, I now have the best tactics, at least for right now and post patch. 4-3-2-1 tactics. I think the 4-3-2-1 is the best formation in the game by far, and to be honest, every other formation is quite a bit worse. There are viable strategies and viable options for other formations, and I'm actually going to be doing a challenge trying out all other formations and finding their best tactics, and I'll update you with that like on other videos. But to be honest, 4-3-2-1 is clear of every formation, so you should definitely run these tactics if you want more wins in Weekend League. Now, this is the team I'm using. This is my main team, not my Road to Glory teams, but this is a team that I normally go 20-0 pretty much every weekend with. Even on the Road to Glories, that's how effective these tactics are. They position your players the best, and it allows you to have so many attacking options, which if a lot of you guys are struggling to score, definitely going to help you out here. Now, this is like my budget team. I have Mia Hamm and Ginola as investments, so don't go crazy talking to me about like, how is this a budget team? It is a budget team, and they're just investments, and I'll make a separate video talking about how they're investments later on. But anyways, guys, let's get straight into the tactics, because that's why you guys clicked on this video. So getting straight into it, we're going into not the 4-4-2, sorry, the 4-3-2-1. I actually don't switch formations in the game. Even if I'm down, I might maybe tweak this formation a little bit, but I always stick with the 4-3-2-1. Like I said, it's the most attacking formation, and like unless you have to play more defensively, you can still just play the 4-3-2-1. You just have to make one minor change, which I'll talk about after. So now getting into it, defensive style is going to be balanced. Width is going to be 35, right? You want to make it congested in the midfield, especially because they kind of patch it a little bit. You want to congest them in the midfield because most goals, just like in real life, come in through the center, right? You want to force your opponent to play it in the middle so that it's the most congested area, and then you can have your big defensive mids and just like that congested midfield really picking up as many loose balls as they can and intercepting the ball as much as they can so you can have more possession with it. Now, depth is going to be 58. We want to have a bit higher depth, but not too high to the point where we're going to have our team pushing out of position like way too much. This is something that can happen if you play really high depth. Even though they patched 71 depth is still pretty effective, but like that's letting the game play for you. So a lot of times the game can play for you, push your back line way too far out, and then you're going to get counterattacked, and you know, you might get really annoyed. I mean, I used to have that issue as well, especially when I played high depth before I knew 71 depth was a thing, and I just get counterattacked all the time, especially by through ball merchants, Holland players. You know what I'm talking about. So we're keeping at 58 depth. Pushes your team up, but not too far, and you are always kind of in control of them, not letting the game play for you essentially. Now, for offense, it's going to be build-up play, balance, of course, and direct passing. Direct passing still best tactic since it's been added, so you got to stick with that. And width is going to be 32. We want like nice and congested width, and I'll explain why once we actually get into the instructions. However, we want to play as centrally as we possibly can for the most part, because it'll force our opponent's team to, you know, stay very stuck together centrally so we can attack a little bit more on the wings. And it also just provides so many more passing options to the point where we overload our opponent in the box. And talking about the box, that's why I have players in the box as 7 out of 10. I believe this is 7. Pretty sure it's 7 looking at it now. But just make sure you have 3 gray bars. And if you have 3 gray bars, then you got the tactic perfectly right. And the reason I do this is because you want to have an extra man in the box. You want to have that extra pass every single time, right? A lot of times when you're attacking, I see people, you know, struggling because I do coaching. And I see people struggling to always find that final pass to get into an attacking and a scoring opportunity. So like what you got to do is when you have this tactic, it always leaves one man kind of open. And with that one man, you make that extra pass, and that's usually when you're going to score your extra goals, right? So you want to have this many players in the box. If you do too much, you're going to have too many players in the box, and you're going to get counterattacked a lot. So I found 7 to be like kind of that sweet spot that you really want. Anyways, for corners, I'm going to keep at 2. If you're very good at corners and know what you're doing, which I don't, you can have it up 3. Right, I keep it at 2 because I don't know what the heck I'm doing on corners, right? So I'm gonna keep it at 2 because I don't want to get counterattacked, especially because of how hard it is to score on some people this year. On people who are defensive who have VVD and Maldini, because almost everybody has, I swear. And free kicks, same thing. I'm going to keep it on 2. I'm not too good at free kicks. I just don't want to get counterattacked. You can also choose to make it 1 and 1, but I personally like 2 and 2. So I'm just going to keep it at that. Now, actually getting into the 4-3-2-1 tactics, this player has to be your CDM, right? This is not like, you can't debate this. This player has to be your CDM. Bellingham, SEN, players like that. Hullet can play here as well. However, Hullet can also play where Trezeguet is, depending on what other players you have here. But I think Bellingham is one of the best players in the game in this position, just like last year. So if you pick up his team of the year, he has to start there. Also, any version of Bellingham is very, very good. His Trailblazers is very good. I'm using his gold, and I'm still finding it really easy to get 20 and O's and stuff like that with just Bellingham as the man in the center, right? Anyways, Trezeguet, box-to-box midfielder. This position, you want a box-to-box. Trezeguet has pretty decent shooting, good shooting stats. He can go up and down the field. He positions himself very well on attack. Here, you want to play players like, Zidane. You can even play Putellas, Bonmati. You want box-to-box midfielders. Modric, UCL is a very, very good option here as well, who are decent enough at defense, but also very, very, very good forward as well. Now, here in the left center mid, you want to play either a forward. Please don't play another midfield, especially if it's another defensive midfield, right? You want to play a forward here. Or the only midfielder that I will accept here is Putellas, because Putellas is a midfielder, but she is so attacking that some people even can play her at striker. So please, 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 if you're going to play a midfielder here, it has to be Putellas. Anyways, continuing on, your forwards doesn't really matter too much. I like having a small, agile player as my striker, and I prefer to have players like Mbappe and Kolo Muani on the wings because they have such explosive step overs. A lot of times you can pass to them and they can just do step overs, run in behind, sometimes break between the left back and the center back to get those across goal shots. You know what I'm talking about. Everybody does them. And also just very good on counter attacks where you can just take it and run down the wing. That's usually when you want those bigger, lengthier running type players like Mbappe and Kolo Muani. They're just very fast, explosive, but they got those big stocky body types so they can body defenders every now and then. Whereas Mia Hamm won't be able to do that. Now moving on to left back and right back, you personally want attacking fullbacks here, right? Like a Davies is very good. Zambrotta is all right. Cancelo is very, very good, but Frimpong is very good. You want Theo Hernandez is very good as well. Sorry. Mendy, right? You want players that are good on the ball. Like Walker is good, but we might struggle a little bit with Walker going up the field. Same with Cafu, but they are very good fullbacks. But I personally prefer to have more attacking fullbacks, which is why I have these two as my fullbacks. And I'm very excited for Team of the Year so we can have more attacking fullbacks. But anyways, getting actually into the instructions that we need. You need stay central and getting behind on Mia Hamm and make sure it's balanced everything else. Then we want stay central, not getting behind. Just stay central. Everything else keep the same for Mbappe. And then Kolo Muani is going to be come back on defense and then keep everything else the same. Now moving to Trezeguet, it's just going to be cover center and then leave everything else the same. Jude Bellingham is just going to be stay back cover center and then don't touch anything else. Ginola is going to be get into box for cross. Wait, no, he's not. That's not right. He's going to be balanced crossing runs. Don't touch anything else, right? It's just going to be balanced. And then that's going to make the formation work better, especially if you have Putellas in this position. But you just want to make sure that they're covering wing and not cover center. If they cover center, it's going to ruin the formation. So please, 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 please make sure that this player is playing cover wing. By the way, if you also have a player who you prefer to be more attacking to be on their strong foot, for example, if I wanted Ginola where Trezeguet is, what I could do is I could mirror the formation. So just make sure that you do everything that I do on the left side on the right side and then everything on the right side on the left side. You know what I mean? That way you can actually switch that. But personally, I like it this way better. I like having my box-to-box midfielder on a strong foot because his shooting is slightly worse. Now for the fullback, it's going to be join attack and overlap for Joao Cancelo. And then for Zambrotta, it's going to be balanced absolutely everything. Now the reason we do this is a lot of times, especially to get out of press, we switch the play. Switching the play is very important. However, sometimes switching the play is really tough when we're getting pressed. However, if we have our fullbacks attacking, they go up the field and they're actually options on attack when we switch the play. right? It also gives us a lot of like, 2-on-1 opportunities against their fullback, and then we can score a lot of goals from doing that. Now, the reason we have, join the attack and overlap is because we really want to overlap the fullbacks, because it always leaves a man open, right? It always leaves a man open. And especially in this like super congested formation, because like I said, we had our width very low, it forces everybody to kind of be marked in the middle, and then it leaves them open wide. It always leaves an extra man. Same thing when you're attacking, right? If I go down the wing with Cancelo and I'm passing into the middle, it usually leaves one man open, right? You always have one man open. The only problem with this formation, I would say, is you might get counterattacked more. So you have to be very careful, especially to not lose the ball with your fullbacks. Make sure you don't lose the ball with the fullbacks, because if you lose the ball with the fullbacks, you might get counterattacked really, really badly, especially because the other fullback's going up the field. But if you can master this, I'm telling you, this will be the easiest formation for you. It's the best tactics. You'll score 10 times more goals, I promise you, because of how much more attacking it is. You just have to be a little bit more cautious when you're going up the field and not losing the ball. Now, if this is too attacking for you, what you can do is you can have one on join the attack overlap, depending on which fullback you want to go up the field, and then make sure you have the other one on stay back afterwards. That way you can at least have 3 players back, and you have your defensive mid that's staying back, and you're really only down 1 player, but still have that attacking option. But I still think this is the best formation. It's just keeping it balanced so that both your fullbacks go up the field, especially so you can switch the play. Lastly, if you're winning a game and it's a very, very tight game and it's the 80th minute or the 75th minute and you want to play a little bit more defensively, just do exactly what I just told you, right? Join the attack on one, or if you want, just make sure that they're both stay back while attacking and make the run type balanced. This is how you close out a game in this formation, right? Because like I said, you might get counterattacked more. So if people are constant pressing and you lose the ball with one of your fullbacks, you might concede a goal. So to avoid that, just make sure that they're stay back on defense. And worst case scenario, if he still ends up scoring on you, then you can just pause or wait for extra time and then, revert the formation to what it was before. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video. These are my updated tactics, the best tactics in the game right now for the best formation. Let me know if these tactics work for you. It's worked for a lot of people I've coached, and it's obviously worked for me. Used it in tournaments. I've gotten some really, really good results from that. And we've also, get rank 1 every weekend, pretty much on every account, even the women account, even the Road to Glory. That is basically a full gold team and like just like 1 or 2 evos, right? So these formations work. Just let me know if they work for you, and we'll continue to post updated videos on tactics and stuff like that as the meta changes throughout the game. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be all for the video. I appreciate you guys for watching. Let me know how the formation works for you again, and I hope you guys have the best rewards and the best team of the year. Watch out for the next team of the year videos we're gonna make, so that you guys can guarantee, or at least get yourself as close as you can to packing a team of the year. Anyways, guys, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.